For the love of money. Gotta make that money, man. Money, man, it's still the same now. Gotta make that money, man. That money, man, it's still the same now. Gotta make that money, man. That money, man, it's still the same now. Gotta make that.
Yep, that's right. He saw the light. Yes, he did. This week on The Bachelor, not only did Matt finally see the light, but so did the Mean Girls. They saw the light, right? I
mean, they saw their ass to the door.
That's right. And the level of, quote, ass kissery is at a height we have never seen before.
They should have had a chapstick commercial right after that.
Oh. And as for the three dudes that watched The Bachelor, we also saw the light because we see the light at the end of this tunnel of death that is known as The Bachelor.
Oh my God.
More girls get hatched every week. They get gone, and we get closer to the end of this disaster.
We're what, halfway? Are we halfway through now?
I hope
We're
so.
more than halfway through, according to Chris Harrison.
Well, good. Well, I'm Gary, and this is literally my friend Chris, and literally my friend John. And Ashton,
I'll literally maybe change my name to Matt. So
you're now Matt. Matt
off the Victoria list. So
okay,
literally.
And Ashton literally was not going to be able to join us, but literally drove here and is literally here with us now.
Literally.
Ashton, I literally thought you weren't going to be here.
I literally parked my car 5 seconds ago and ran in.
And we're literally very happy that you're here. So Ashton, who's our new queen? The queen is dead. She's dead. She's gone. She's been purged. She was impeached. Of course, we're talking about Victoria. So who's the new queen of the season, Ashton?
I think this is like French Revolution vibes. You know, we're done with the queen. We're moving on to a democracy. I think we're done. I'm glad.
Okay, guys.
Very, very good analogy there. I like that.
John, who do you think's the queen?
I don't know. Has Katie taken over as the new queen?
Katie? Yes.
Maybe.
I think she played them all. She is clearly a producer on the show and is not a lady testant.
Right.
And I think she played them all with her. Let me tell you who did what, but she didn't really tell on anybody. And then she sat there very quietly and just
watched it all unfold.
Yeah.
That surprised me because I thought she would have stood up and been like, it was me. Y'all are acting ridiculous. But
shoot, she didn't have to. The other two flat out told on themselves.
I know. It was like she just kept sitting there going, hang yourself, hang yourself. Chris, you got an idea for the new queen?
MJ.
She might be deposed soon too. Yeah. I think if it's not Katie, I do think it's that Ryan girl because Ryan did bring down the queen. She brought her down and got rid of her. So before we do our roundup in honor of Queen Victoria, I've got a countdown of my 5 favorite sayings from Victoria this season. So rolling in at number 5 is my team is a bunch of queens and the others are gestures.
Gestures.
With a G.
My number 4 would be I'm like authentic and real because she's anything but.
I couldn't believe she said that.
Number 3 on the chart would be we don't get along like together. I'm like oil and vinegar with you.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of in a salad. I kind of like it.
Works for me. Yeah.
And then number 2, of course, would be I'm owed an apology. I mean, I'm owed an apology. I was mean to you. You called me out on it. I'm owed an apology. And of course, the number 1 best thing Victoria said all year long was what? Literally. So, and she literally didn't know how to use the word literally.
Yeah.
And she enunciated the T.
Yes.
Literally.
She literally was going to die. And we were all like, when?
Yeah.
So now to our show.
I don't believe you. Do it.
So now to our show. Chris, what is up with the editing of this crap? I mean, we literally just started the new show and literally never finished last week's. They were in the middle of a date and then we start with the next morning. What's literally happening with our crappy editing of The Bachelor this year? What are they doing?
I mean, I think they literally have to drag it out as much as they can because there's no content. This is what, the 5th episode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What have we gotten out of
it's like
10 hours of video? What have we gotten out of?
Matt's too good for the show. Number 1. Number 2 is ABC hates him. And they're trying to screw him over. And number 3, he's too big of a doofus to realize it. I think that's what I've got out of this season.
I mean, look at the challenges and all that stuff. It's like, it's horrible. Like, I feel like we have not even left. We have not even left the lobby of that resort there.
It's gone from a dating show to now a cheesy soap opera / horrible game show.
Should
Yeah.
be like on Univision.
Yeah.
It'd
It's
be
like
on Univision. Yeah.
bad reality TV, like something I would see on MTV.
Yeah. So
And
we
I
And
start,
it's so
It's
bad
TV
that they're
too, not
trying
only
to
reality
dig up
TV.
stuff
yeah. I
to
mean,
make it more interesting.
and they try to create, I think they're trying to create friction between people because nothing's happening naturally. So I think they should say, hey, did you hear what she said about you? What? So we start with our rose ceremony, which was kind of just like a fast forward to, like, we skipped the last date, and apparently Piper got a rose. We never even saw that, how she got a rose on the date. And I love the typical Bachelor foreshadowing, which is Anna and Victoria sitting around going, I feel really good about my position right now, and I feel like I'm going to get a rose. And then Matt comes in and just lays down the anti-bullying speech, and then out comes the ass kisser. So, John, have you ever seen so much backtracking in your day?
Listen, I thought they were all defensive backs for the University of South Carolina.
That's good. They were all backpedaling real quick.
Wow, they got out of there fast.
You see how they scattered too? They're all, ooh, and then they went boom, they were gone.
It's like the
you
game
know,
rock
I'll pull
defense.
the girl aside and we're like, I just want you to know you can talk to me. And these girls were like, what changed in the past 10 minutes?
10
Like,
minutes, yeah.
And she said, you were treated so unfairly. I'm like,
Mhm.
by you.
Yeah, they're
I was
trying
not being malicious. I was trying to be funny.
I'm not sure what gaslighting is, but I'm pretty sure that was gaslighting.
Dude, that place almost blew up. There was so much gaslighting going on in that thing.
So who backtracked more, do y'all think? Anna or MJ
Anna,
or Queen?
because the Queen doubled down, but Anna was
She was fumbling.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, she didn't really even know what to say because she knew after she.
I mean, what can you say? She was just like,
She's
Her
like,
lip
it's
was
out of my
quivering.
character to call people whores and prostitutes. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it was
why I
all
said
T.
that.
It was an all tooth apology.
I
she
think
knew she was
Victoria-
gone too. She knew
Victoria
she was gone.
was the craziest though, like just saying it's a joke, like, and you could tell even when Matt pulled her aside and she was like, she said something like, I'm so glad I get to spend time with you tonight or something, and he just started laughing at her. He's like, I'm done with this crazy
Well,
person.
those two were by far the funniest. You have Anna, who sees the light and tries to do this whole spin thing, like, this was out of character. I didn't mean to say it, so please let me stay. I thought he handled it pretty classy. He's like, okay, we all say things we shouldn't say. So I forgive you for that. Doesn't mean you're a horrible person, but bye-bye.
Yeah.
But my favorite quote of his was like, in what context does calling someone horrible?
Yeah.
That was
Like,
great. So that was Victoria. He calls her out and she's like, I didn't really like, I don't know that that was
Taken out
taken
of
out of context. And he goes, so what context would calling somebody a whore be okay? And it's just her look. She goes,
Yeah.
he just sits there.
It was bad.
I mean,
They
that guy
knew
should be a
it.
lawyer.
Look, they
I mean, he literally boxed her into a corner. So Ashton, good move by Matt to cut Anna before even going the rose ceremony. Should have let her stay for the rose, or was it a good move to get rid of her, make a point?
Oh my gosh, she needed to go. And like, it was not okay to, after he had the conversation with her, like, if she had let her back into that room with those girls, other girls would have just left. I don't think they would have stuck around.
I wish you'd have gone in there and said, boom, 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 out.
Get out.
All of it, all five of it.
I thought that's what he was going to do, honestly.
Well, what was interesting is that what's her name? Serena, Sabina.
P.
What was her name?
Serena C or P?
The Asian girl. Which
C.
one?
I didn't even know we had two Serenas.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Serena C.
She was about as mean as all of them, but yet somehow she just skated through and nobody threw her name under.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Jessina. She was also one of those who were like making fun of everybody, and she skated through.
Well, she's the one that said that MJ was so terrible.
Right.
Right. She skated through until the end of the show. If she should have kept her mouth shut and she wouldn't have gotten to that position, but she went too far.
Yeah,
Literally.
I don't know if calling out MJ was like a good idea, but then she acted like a fool on that group date. So I think Matt would have seen that anyway. I don't know if anyone should have called her out though.
Right.
MJ will be gone next week.
I think Justina and MJ.
I think he's just going to tell them both to go home. Well, for y'all that missed how it went down between Victoria and the rest of the house, Ashton and I are going to act this out and with the guys. So Ashton is going to be Queen Victoria for us and show us how, when she apologized, how it was, and then we will show you how the girls reacted.
I don't think I can even live up to Victoria's.
Literally, you can.
Literally, you can do this. So
Literally, it's a losing cause.
So act as if you were Victoria and how you were, giving us the non-apology.
Okay. Do I go first or
You go first. You literally tell us that you're just joking around.
I think everyone in this house is just literally so dramatic and so sensitive and such crybabies, and they take everything out of context. Like, I'm the best person here. I don't worry about these people. I don't even like being this mean. Like, I don't even know these girls.
Literally.
Literally, you were mean. Literally, you're being mean right now.
Yeah.
And deserves an apology, apparently.
Well,
literally, do you think that we owe you an apology?
I think you guys do.
No, we don't.
Yeah,
No, we don't.
Your mother.
I'm done with this.
That's basically the gist of how the children acted. So
I said it first.
It was really bad. So John, my favorite part, John, was when MJ gets on there and says, "Who said I'm antagonistic? I'm not antagonistic. You're antagonistic. Who wants to call me in my face? I'm antagonistic. I'm not antagonistic. Am I? What do you think of that?
See me fight, you don't see me fight now. So, yeah.
I mean, there was not a word being said in that house when MJ, MJ like she was about ready to cut somebody.
But per MJ, she's a leader in the house. She leads from the front.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, she is by example, and
By
she makes
example.
people love her.
Peace and harmony.
Yes, and yeah. So anyway, I'm ready for all of those girls to go home. So we moved along now with Ryan, and she's the one who really captures the queen. So I thought that was the move of the year on The Bachelor, where she literally captured the queen here and tells Ryan that that Victoria called her a hoe just because she dances. And literally and then Victoria says, "I can't believe this is happening," because literally everything was going amazing. And literally it wasn't. So at the rose ceremony, what about a power move, Chris? Ryan and the escort, or whatever her name is, get the first 2 roses. Power move or not power move on Matt's part?
Power move.
Power move, yeah.
Make a statement.
I wish she'd given Katie one earlier though, because she was the one who like started the whole thing and like helped all the other girls out.
I can't believe she made it, because snitches don't last.
No.
For her though, I didn't feel like it was snitching. I thought it was like standing up for things that are not right,
Yeah, that girl always goes home on The Bachelor. They turn into a friend and they're gone.
Yeah.
But I think this is different because there's so much anti-bullying stuff, which is great. But I think if she would have gone and said so-and-so was talking about so-and-so's mama or something like that, then she would have been
anybody's name, and she never told anybody what they said. They just said some horrible things are happening. So maybe, but we know she's she's a producer. She's not even a lady test, and she's like a producer that's been put on the show to keep these girls from killing each other and to stir it up. So at the rose ceremony, I was very surprised. The girl I picked to win, Lauren, went home without a whimper. We never saw you. We barely even knew you, Lauren, and you went home. I was very surprised by that, very upset. The other 2 girls or 3 girls he sent home, I have no idea who they were, except that one that didn't you pick the girl from Puerto Rico, John?
Oh no, I'm Team Abigail still.
Okay. So they send Victoria home, and I don't know if y'all noticed, but when he doesn't give her a rose, she kind of like hides out behind everybody because she wanted to be last. And she goes up.
I'm gonna get his ass.
She goes up and goes, "I literally feel so sorry for you because you literally listened to a bunch of hearsay," which I don't even know if she gets the word, no understands what hearsay is.
Right.
And then my favorite part is he literally stares her down like Mike Tyson standing over Michael Spinks. Just literally like,
Did anybody catch the breaths that he takes?
Yeah.
Like when he's like,
it's like he's standing in ready to get hit by a 95-mile-an-hour fastball or something.
yeah.
Very prolonged sighs he was giving. I think he was just like, "Oh my Lord, I want to go home."
Poor guy.
I will tell you, I was literally a little disappointed in Victoria's speech. I was expecting something more. I was expecting fireworks, not just
Fire and brimstone,
yeah.
I expected what we got, a 5-year-old. I'm taking my toys and going home.
But I don't know. Victoria expected so much out of her. I expected it to be really cutting and really good and funny. And
can we have a moment of silence for all the Matts out there that no longer have the opportunity to date Victoria?
I did call a friend of mine named Matt and asked him what he felt about that.
He was probably like,
And there was some whimpering and
Cool.
crying. There was some whimpering and crying on the phone about how upset he was about it, but he got over it kind of quickly, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, at that point, the show was over, in my opinion, because there's really nothing else about the
I
show.
almost fell asleep on the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of it sucked, but we had to talk about it. We had 2 one-on-one dates and a group date. So the first group or one-on-one date was Rachel from Georgia, which I think both of you guys have, John and Matt, or John and Chris have in the top 5. I don't know where you stand with her, Ashton.
I love her. I
All
want her.
She's my top one.
I got her name confused on the first episode that I filmed with you guys, but that's who I meant. Whoever I
Okay.
said, I think she'll win.
She's number 2 for me.
So I love Bachelor. They give them thousands of dollars of shoes, and then they send her back in the toxic house with all these bags. And I hope the girls
She's
don't
only
hate
bought
her.
it. The most expensive pair of shoes she wears is $40. I was like,
That's
man,
what
I wear more expensive shoes than that. What are you
I
talking
don't
about?
know. I mean, hell,
DSW
Adidas
has a good
might
sale
wear
right
it.
now, so I'm just saying.
I mean, a good pair of Adidas costs you $100 now. I mean, but the girls were pissed when she walks in. I just wish that we had had Anna, because Anna would have been like, so we missed that. Yeah, we missed Victoria and Anna being there. But all right, the big news of that show, of that part of the show, was one thing. That's when she says, I think I'm falling in love with you. John, did I miss something? Did these two had more than like 8 minutes of conversation together? How did this happen?
I don't know. Between the shopping spree and the chess game the first night, I guess love was abound.
I think they edited out when she goes, I think I'm falling in love with you. I think they're saying, I'm falling in love with all these clothes. Thank you.
Thank
They
you.
just edited it out. I mean, that would be something the Bachelor would do. Ashton, too early for her to say that?
Way too early, especially after she was like, I've never been in love before. And then she's like, I've known you for a whole 8 days, but I'm in love with you. Like,
I am
no.
falling right now.
I've never been in love before, but I'm in love right now because you bought me a bunch of Jimmy Choo shoes.
Whatever I gotta say right now to get me to the hometown dates.
Yes. Any more evident, Chris, that our man has no idea what he's doing than telling a girl, and I think I'm falling in love with you too, and there's still 27 girls left?
Awful.
Who was the Bachelor that told 2 of them? Was it which one? One of them told him he loved like both girls on the fancy date. I'm in love with you, and then ditched one of them like 2 or 3 years ago. I remember which one that was, but was it Higgins?
I love you, but I don't love you much as this one.
It was Ben Higgins. Higgins was the fool that told 2 girls on the date he was in love with them. So this guy's heading for disaster, because if he does not pick her, this is going to be bad. Because he literally just told her he literally was falling in love with her too.
But he's already told 3 other girls that this season.
I can see myself, yeah, like the
I
girl.
still still walking out here with you.
Yeah, Brittany. He literally told her that I could see a life with you, and I'm like, dude, you've known her for 1 day. I don't get it. So anyway, we leave this disaster of a single date where he's now told the girl he loves him, so now we can't backtrack out of that, and now we're into a group date with farm work.
And they're literally scooping crap.
Yes.
It was so funny watching that date because I was thinking I'd be so in my element. Like, this is the date that I would definitely shine on.
Did we mention that Ashton's from Spartanburg?
Yeah.
She is from Spartanburg, just like I am. So yeah,
Ashton,
I feel her. I
Ashton,
feel her on that.
What kind of girl are you, Ashton?
I grew up around horses, so like I did that kind of stuff. But
Well,
it was funny to watch the other girls, and like especially the outfits they came in wearing. Some girls understood, others did not.
Yeah, do they tell these girls we're going to a farm, or do they just say, "Hey, wear your best clothes," and then they stand there and they're stilettos standing in crap?
Well, you got to think too. Some of them they don't get styled, so whatever they pack is what they have.
Right.
I don't know, but
Well,
that
I
day
love.
for me became apparent that like he is dating multiple women. I was like, this is the reality of it. Like, these girls are not happy on this group date.
None of them were, including MJ, who said, I think, quote, "I'm about ready to cut somebody over this."
She's so obnoxious.
Yes. My favorite was when Matt says he's just a country bumpkin from Raleigh, because nothing says farming like the Research Triangle.
Like the triangle, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the triangle's all about farming. You know,
Check
in the
circle.
triangle, we have cow farming, pig farming, and chicken farming. That's what the Research Triangle's all about.
He
It's a
should have
triangle.
used like Greensboro or something like that.
Goldsboro, anything.
What they should have done is the girl should have brought out the bull and castrated it in front of him, because that would really have symbolized the show. a bull castration, because he's been castrated already. He has literally been castrated.
Oh, wow.
So at the cocktail party, we get Abigail's sad story about how it's likely that one of her children would have hearing issues as well. Where does Abigail stand now? I mean, she's barely been on the show at all. She's now told Matt what the reality is. Matt, what's he gonna do now? I mean, he kept her around, gave her a rose. I felt like if he didn't, he'd look like an ass. So what happens now? I don't think that she's going much of other guys, I'm afraid.
I thought she was a front runner, but I think she may have run her course.
She peaked
after
early.
Like the novelty's worn off.
The first impression Rose girl rarely wins it.
Yeah.
But I thought she'd get the
She
final
does.
four, but I'm not even sure she gets more than about 2 more weeks.
She's not interested anymore.
I don't know
I
that
think
she is
he's over
anymore.
too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's showing any interest in him, and I think he knows it. So our second one-on-one date was with Kit. And I have learned a couple things about Kit that I think everybody should know. First of all, she's a 21-year-old child. I have no idea why she's on this show at 21 years old. She struggles in life because her life is all about gold Bentleys and red carpet. I mean, her story compared to Abigail's, Abigail's story is like maybe way down here, and her struggles with having to deal with gold Bentleys and red carpets is way up here. It's tragic.
I
And
went to her Instagram because I was so curious, and her mother is a very well-known, famous fashion designer.
which
She got it out
also
the
makes
mud.
her story even more tragic, that she's had to put up with life of having all this money and fame and fortune, because
What
her life
a
is
horrible
tragic.
life.
Her life is very tragic. I mean, the level of her tragedy is up here, and
Mm.
Abigail's is like way down here somewhere. I mean,
It reminds
up,
me of the
girl.
story Annie. It's just a hard night life for her.
just shut up. I mean, so we get that date. I will tell you, I'm hoping that MJ goes home, because she is a typical Bachelor villain. The snotty rich girl who is not there for what, Chris? The right reasons.
The right
Wait, are you
reason.
talking about Kit or MJ?
Kit.
Kit.
I want MJ to go so that Kit can be our new villain, because
Kit's
she's
gonna
not there
move
for the
in.
right reasons. The
Kit's
girls will
gonna
quickly
move in.
realize. Yeah, and the girls are going to realize that she's not there for the right reasons.
I felt like that date was just awkward. Like they were not communicating very well. It was kind of, I was like, he's only giving her a rose. They
It was a
didn't
bad episode
on
of
the
Chopped.
date.
She's 21 years old. She's a child, and they have nothing in common. So what's going to happen here at this point, I think, is she's going to become our villain, because she definitely has the RBF face for it. No doubt about it. She's got the RBF. And so I totally believe that what's going to happen is all the girls are going to change and go after her, because she's not there for the right reasons. She's a rich little snotty girl that's just trying to get Instagram fame. We already know that, because she's already moved to LA from New York to get her Instagram fame out there. And I think she could be our next new villain, which would be very nice. Thoughts?
I don't think so. I think she's too sweet. Like
Sweet?
yeah, I don't think she is very talkative with the other girls, it seems like.
I don't know. Remember when they were attacking, who was it? They were attacking, Victoria was attacking one of them, Katie. And she was like, oh no, I'm sorry. The girl that left the show, what was her name? The
Oh,
one that
Sarah.
left?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Dang, I forgot about her.
Yeah, because when Sarah left, she made some smart ass comments about her too. Like, your life is going to be miserable in this house if you stick around here.
Yeah.
She was that girl. She's tried to rehabilitate herself like everybody else. So the one-on-one dates were kind of lame. And that brings us to round 2 of the main event, which was MJ in one corner and Jessina in the other. This is where Jessina told The Bachelor that MJ was talking trash about the girls. And this is where The Bachelor went back to truly sucking again. And I hope we were going to have no more of this crap, but we clearly do. So Ashton and I are going to reenact this scene for you. I will be playing the role of MJ, of Jessina, and you will be MJ. So Ashton, you had to play the both mean girls today. So I'll start off as Jessina. Are you ready? So this is us playing that role. MJ, you are literally toxic.
That's you. You are toxic.
Not me, you.
You. Just stop talking. Just stop. talking.
No, you.
You.
Whatever.
You.
Whatever.
So
You're
over
mean.
this.
I'm not
so
mean.
over
You're
this.
mean. You're
Put in
toxic.
the towel. No more. I'm done.
And that was the end of it. That was the 4-year-old level of the conversation. They literally sat there on the couch with Matt walking in the door, and she's like, everybody will know all about you. And she's like, no, they'll all know about you. And she goes, wait till they see it on TV. And she goes, whatever. And that was the conversation. That was the level of intellectual stimulation we got out of that conversation.
Awful.
I'm literally dumber from watching that episode.
This
you
was
know-
entertaining, I will say. I was bored the first few, and now it's kind of kicking out.
Picking up because you know these people a little bit more.
I mean, it's everything. Like I get pissed off when I have to go watch it. Like I like it. I enjoyed it last year. This year, it's
Literally, I hate this season.
Yeah, literally, Chris and I were talking literally before y'all literally came on, and we literally sat there and said, last year we would watch it, we would text each other during it. It was funny. The next day we would come in here in our office and literally laugh for 30 minutes about some of the things that happened, and then we would do the show, and then afterwards we'd call each other afterwards, go, dude, that was funny. And here it is. Literally now, I'm like, I hate Monday night. It's the worst night of the week for me.
awful.
I have to watch this crap. I don't even want to look at it. We wound up rescheduling this video multiple times because nobody's even watched it, nor do we want to watch it. And then we literally feel like this is a job now that we have to literally do.
That's so true. I'm the one that's always like, hey, I haven't watched it yet on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I literally used to have a notebook and make notes.
On Wednesday morning and watch it.
Make notes for this thing. Like, oh my God, yeah.
I'm not sure how much more I can take, but I think, Ashton, you literally said it was literally over.
Yeah, it's more than halfway over.
Well, one of the girls in my office told me that on the Bachelorette, which I refuse to watch because I can see 25 guys hit on any girl in any bar at any night. But for the hometown dates, they don't go on hometown dates. They bring the parents to the hotel.
I think we should switch to that show and start doing that show.
We might have to, because if I can't get a hometown date and see where these people grew up and all the BS stuff that they do, like when they took us to Arkansas, remember that girl that drove them around in the mud on the four-wheeler? And then I got to go, what was it, Chris's Iowa high school, where he got to relive his glory of being a high school football star. I need that kind of hometown dating, and I'm not going to get it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get the hometown dates this year. I'm already feeling it. And then I need where they fly off to some foreign land and the parents come and they meet the two girls. And I need that. I'm not getting any of that this year.
It looks so boring, like what the girls do on a daily basis when they're not on dates. Like they just sit around in the living room. There's not a pool, like nothing for them to go enjoy. I'd probably lose my mind too.
And that's why they should have done this in Florida. Why did they do this in Pennsylvania? They should have gone to Miami.
There's no drinking.
Well, they could have gone to Miami and they could have had them. There's no bikinis. Usually they have the girls running around in swimsuits all day long, and the Bachelor comes in and takes his shirt off and flexes a bunch. We've seen a lot of Matt's chest and all these different videos, but they don't even have that aspect of the show this year, which they usually milk for every second they can. So,
right.
It just doesn't even feel like a Bachelor. And I feel for them because of the COVID issue, but why don't they just go to the Bahamas and rent out a whole place in the Bahamas?
Yeah.
They literally could have rented an airplane and literally flown them to the Bahamas and quarantined down there and had the whole place, and they could act like complete morons. And then they could have had the catamaran out there on the water. They could have gone boat trips.
We're getting nothing. We're
getting girls pushing other girls around in wheelbarrows.
And canoeing in a pumpkin.
Yeah.
I think Maggie's still in that pumpkin, by the way. I don't think she's moving yet.
and then the best date they have is a hot air balloon
tethered
to the ground.
Yeah, they didn't even go anywhere.
Downtown Disney's balloon goes higher. Think of that. The balloon at downtown Disney goes higher than that balloon went. It's like,
yeah. Gary, maybe you need to quit practicing law and become a Bachelor producer.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Where's my picture of Chris? See, I haven't even brought out, I've been so pissed about the whole season. I haven't even brought out my rose or my Bachelor picture of Chris.
That's what's missing. Yeah.
That's what's missing. So I got to put Chris back here. So I think the thing is, I need to call Chris. I need to get in touch with Chris and say, Chris, this ain't cutting it. Something's wrong here. We got to get this done. See, it's so bad. Chris Cloud just dipped.
He just
dipped. He's like, I can't even take the end of this video anymore. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reach out to Chris Harrison, because next week looks equally bad when they bring this Heather girl back. So
yeah, what's that all about?
That's dipped.
That's why you just dip on it.
Pilot Pete season?
Yeah,
she was on last season on Pete. So what's her connection to this whole thing?
I love Chris Harrison, his acting. Heather, what are you doing here? And it would have been funny if she'd have said, what do you mean you sent me the airline tickets and told me?
Hold on, this is Chris. He's like, Heather, what are you doing here?
This is so shocking. This could throw, let me grab the rose. This could throw our whole season
everything
turmoil.
The most dramatic twist.
The most dramatic twist in Bachelor history. So with that, we're done with this recap of the show. I
gotta go to work.
We've done the best we can recapping the crap that we have to watch every week. We will see you next week for yet another literal show of the literally literal Bachelor.
Literally.
What do you say about it?
A piece of garbage shit.
Peace out. All right.